Kind of skirted the outskirts of the building, and now he's back on the streets. This guy's dangerous.
Yeah, unpredictable, but clearly, as they were saying on the scanners, knows this area pretty well.
He's up on the sidewalk. Here he goes, coming around the bend there.
Oh my God!
Look at this.
Oh man! Oh man! Can you imagine walking along that sidewalk and seeing this
Thank
car
God
come?
Nobody was.
My goodness.
That's the whole thing. That's why I don't want to stop this guy. He's in a neighborhood now, and we often talk about these guys going back to where they know what they're familiar with, because they know the streets and they can kind of circumnavigate around, and they think that'll get them away. They never do, but it becomes dangerous because in these residential areas, you've got kids. It's summer. You've got kids walking around. You've got all kinds of people on the streets. So these things become much more dangerous as they get into these residential areas.
Well, and you think about people walking along the sidewalks, people pushing strollers, so on and so forth, and this guy's just driving all up over everywhere. I mean, he's very erratic, very dangerous. And again, that's why they don't want to get out in front of this person, because they may cause something to happen.
It's amazing what some guts will do for somebody's driving ability. I mean, these guys manage to weave their way in and out of situations that most people would never attempt on the road. And now they're behind these buildings that we see. But several times here, it's looked like he was pulling himself into a situation he couldn't get out of, and yet he did.
And there he goes, turns around again, and we're going to switch it over. Shepard Smith standing by live in Studio B. The car chase continues right here on the Fox News channel.
And Trace, we're continuing to watch this along with all of you on the live desk team. Man, this guy has managed to get away from the news helicopter, but he is right down there, and we'll zoom into it in just a second. He's on surface streets now in southeast Texas, Houston area. This was in Sugar Land at one point, and if there has ever been a dangerous car chase instigator, it is this person. On surface streets in the afternoon on very crowded streets, making a U-turn. Oh my goodness. When our chopper pilot finds it, we'll zoom right back down in on it, but trust me when I tell you, this car chase is still going and going strong. It is impossible to imagine that dude or dudette in car got into a parking garage and managed to get out of the parking garage somehow, since he or she has flipped not one but two U-turns, the most recent in just the last few seconds, and is now on a divided highway but not limited access on the streets of Houston, and Houston's finest are chasing him right now. A little background on what we've seen thus far, and there it is, as I said, on surface streets, and you wonder, the police have their rules and they have to follow them, and they will operate as instructed by their superiors, and that's it. But you wonder along the way, if you're not one of those cops, if you don't want to just shoot his tire out or something, because you see how see the pedestrians there? Every time you pass by a pedestrian who might not have seen it. And now we're up in a median again. Okay, what are we going to do with him now? Is he going to get away again, or is that cop going to get in front of him? No, and away he goes. This is Studio B, Car Chase TV on Fox News Channel. I'm Shepard Smith in New York, and you're looking live in Houston through the facilities of KRIV, the Fox station there. I'll give you some background on how this crazy thing began. The dateline is Houston. Oh, it's time for a U-turn, don't you think? Sure, it's been almost a minute. Around he goes again. I want to say 5. If I'm in that maroon truck, I know you're not supposed to get in the way of the police officers, but I might just have to put my truck in the road and bring this thing to an end. Of course, what you don't know is this guy armed? Has he committed serious felonies in the past? All right, oh, look at this. Spike strip appears to have been unsuccessful. Just as our friends in Dallas were having trouble with the car chase on this same bat channel last week when they tried to put the car strips in front of a guy, but he was going close to 100 miles an hour at some points. They tried to get the car strips, break the strips in front of this, and they could not. So now it's time for another U-turn, and I'm beginning to see a pattern on these U-turns. So maybe the police officers will sense a pattern, and I guess they'll operate as they're instructed to do. First responders doing their dead level best. Oh, look at that. Now car chase guy is in front of and behind. Look, he's in trouble now. I mean, are you kidding me? There's a cop in front of him and a cop behind him, and lo and behold, time for a left-hand turn. And away he goes. We're watching this with some folks in Houston who are working radio. I know I'm not going to go to it right now because I feel like this thing is almost going to wrap itself up. I want to give you the backstory, if he'll just give me a minute to tell you it. Houston police gave chase to a suspect in this white sport utility vehicle. The driver led them through Sugar Land on Highway 59. This was in the early going, before turning around and heading back toward Houston. And since he's been an around turner over and over again, and here we come up to a traffic signal where clearly he had a red light. Well, it looks like he had a red light. It looks like police were in that lane there, so I don't really know. But they had all traffic stopped for speed chase racer here. Views from the Houston TransStar show that the suspect is moving at speeds in excess at times. Oh, more spike strips. Did that do the trick? Did not do the trick as far as I can tell. Does he still have tires? Well, I'm not entirely sure. You can imagine how hard it is to run one of these chopper cameras, and our good friends at KRIV in Houston are giving us the best look that they can. That appears to me that's Spike Strips 2, no, Spike Strip 0, Car Chase Guy 2. So it's 2-0 in favor of the car chase guy at the moment. But, you know, he keeps coming up to this intersection, and you wonder, are they going to figure out a way to stop him in said intersection? There's a person on walk. Oh, there he goes. Here comes Speedy. Some more of the background. Views from the Houston. He was moving about 80 miles an hour, went up on the elevated freeway on the limited access. Police followed at a distance for a long time there. Now he has gotten very fast indeed again, and this guy or woman is extremely dangerous. This started just after 1 o'clock Central Daylight Time, so a little more than an hour ago, in southwest Houston, and the driver got on the southwest freeway at Willcrest. This is just some background for you, for people who might know. When he reached Grand Parkway near Rosenberg, not Kim, made a U-turn and headed back inbound. He later jumped into the Beltway 8. The Beltway 8 West headed north. Houston Police Department in pursuit right now of this white Dodge Caravan, which was on the Beltway 8 on the west side of Houston. Now, wonder what he has done to where he or she thinks that it's necessary to continue to run at this pace and risk life and limb in the middle of intersections where you're supposed to have a red light. Did he not see what happened in Dallas just days ago? He should have been watching, and here we go. Now he's been hit by one police car. Will another step up and do the trick? He did not. There are rules from jurisdiction to jurisdiction about what you can do with your vehicle. In some areas, the police allow them to do the pit maneuver that you just saw to try to push a car away. In some, they don't. Some, they allow spike strips, as you can see they did here. But they don't allow a physical confrontation vehicle to vehicle in a lot of different jurisdictions without permission from the air. So I haven't been told this directly, but here's what history tells me is going on. There's a police chopper in the air watching this thing, and it's directing all of this ground traffic. The chopper has a camera on this, just like we have a camera on it. Somewhere back at the station house there in Houston, the people in charge are working to decide what the people on the ground are going to do next. Now, you saw there another attempt at spike strip. Jessica, that one didn't work either, did it?
I don't know. It looks like the front tire might be low.
Okay.
They might have got him.
Okay, I know we have a phone, but let's go to Captain Curtain, who's the assistant traffic manager with KTRH Radio in Houston. KTRK. Well, before we do that, another set of spike strips, and I want to say that's Caravan 5, spike strips nothing. This has been a crazy one there, Devlin.
That it has, Shepard. It's been a very big chase going on right now for, like you said earlier, just under an hour now, and he is evading these police officers like nobody else I've seen.
I mean, he's been into a parking garage, and he made a few loops around a parking garage. He's made at least 5 U-turns. At least. Those are just ones I've seen when not in makeup. And now he's on not limited access, but regular access divided highway. I guess this is southwest Houston, right?
Actually, he made it over to the north side of town. He's been doing speeds in excess of 80 miles an hour, close to 90 miles an hour when he was on the Beltway. And right now he is central north Houston. And
he just missed the spike strips again right there on Greens Road. For people who may be familiar with it, we're approaching. It's been about an hour now. What are the rules in the city of Houston about engaging? Do you know offhand?
Well, I know that for the longest time that the city did have chase policies, and they've been since reviewed, and so now I do believe that they tell them to back off as much as they can.
As much as they can, unless the person has been in commission of a violent felony, a felony with violence. Is that right?
That is correct, and the person that they're chasing right now is a suspect in a robbery, and so that's why they're so close to him right now.
Tell me what you know about this suspect. As he approaches an intersection, that's always dangerous.
Right.
And he may have lost one of his left side tires. What do we know about this suspect?
As far as the suspect goes, the robbery, I believe, is from a convenience store, but details are very sketchy on that. But as far as the driver goes himself, I want to say probably late 30s, early 40s.
Okay, and it is a guy for sure.
I believe so, yes.
All right, well, he just made it up to another big traffic hazard. He's taken a right, and the West Cam here in KRIV's camera a chopper is trying to catch up. Whoever is on the West Cam from KRIV, good work for you. I don't know how you're keeping up with this thing. Sometimes they're upside down and backwards, but I mean, that's what happens. And now we're in a parking lot again.